There comes a time in life when you must ask yourself, hey, am I being nice or am I being used? Too often we think that being friendly and kind will bring us love, respect, and appreciation. But the truth is, not everyone deserves your kindness. Not everyone deserves access to you. The problem is not with kindness. The problem is with how much of yourself you give away for free. People take advantage of those who are always available, always smiling, always saying yes. You think you're doing the right thing, but in reality, you're exhausting yourself for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. There is a fine line between being friendly and being taken for granted. You are not on this earth to please everyone. You are here to live with dignity, to be respected, to be valued. And that starts with valuing yourself first. If someone calls you selfish for setting boundaries, let them. If someone walks away because you stopped giving them everything, let them go. You are not responsible for making others comfortable at the cost of your own peace. Learn to say no. Learn to walk away. Learn to protect your heart. Because the right people, the ones who truly value you, will never take you for granted. Be kind, but don't be a doormat. Love, but don't lose yourself. Respect others, but don't forget to respect yourself first. Kindness is one of the most beautiful qualities a person can possess. It reflects strength, compassion, and a generous spirit. But there is a fine line between kindness and self-sacrifice, and too often, people forget that their kindness is a gift, not an obligation. Many individuals live their lives constantly giving, constantly accommodating, constantly making sure that others are comfortable, even at the cost of their own well-being. They believe that being kind means always saying yes, always being available, and always prioritizing others over themselves. But the truth is, kindness should never be forced, expected, or exploited. It should come from a place of genuine care, not from pressure, guilt, or fear of disappointing others. There is an unspoken expectation in society that the kinder you are, the more you should give. People expect you to go out of your way, to be understanding in every situation, to sacrifice your time, energy, and sometimes even your self-respect just to accommodate others. And when you stop, when you set boundaries, when you say no, you are suddenly labeled as selfish, rude, or ungrateful. This is where the world misinterprets kindness. Being kind does not mean being a doormat. It does not mean putting yourself last all the time. It does not mean constantly being the person who has to adjust, who has to forgive, who has to bear the burden of keeping relationships intact. Some people take kindness as an invitation to take advantage. They keep coming back, expecting more, demanding more, knowing that you will always be there, always be giving, always be the one who understands. They never stop to think about your needs, your emotions, or the toll it takes on you. This is why it is so important to understand that your kindness is not a debt you owe to the world. You are not required to always be the one who compromises, who carries the weight of maintaining peace, who keeps giving without ever receiving. It is not your job to fix everyone, to save everyone, to make everyone's life easier while making your own harder. Being kind is a choice, and it should always be on your terms. When you choose to be kind, let it come from a place of strength, not obligation. Kindness is powerful when it is intentional, when it is given freely without expectation, but also without force. The best kind of kindness is the one that respects both the giver and the receiver. You deserve to be treated with the same care and consideration that you offer to others. You deserve relationships where kindness is mutual, not one-sided. You deserve to be in spaces where your kindness is valued, not used. Learning to say no is an essential part of understanding that your kindness is a gift. Saying no does not make you a bad person. It does not mean you are unkind. It simply means that you respect yourself enough to protect your energy. It means that you are choosing to be kind to yourself first, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If people only value you for what you can do for them, rather than for who you are, then their presence in your life is not a blessing but a burden. Protecting your kindness is about balance. It is about giving, but not at the cost of your own well-being. It is about caring, but not for those who only take and never give back. It is about loving, but not losing yourself in the process. True kindness is powerful, but only when it is given freely, not when it is expected or demanded. You have the right to decide when, where, and to whom you give your kindness. And that decision should always start with you. Not everyone deserves access to you. This is a truth that many people struggle to accept because they have been taught that being open, available, and welcoming is the right way to live. They believe that the more they give, the more they will be appreciated. But the harsh reality is that not everyone values what they receive. and not everyone respects the kindness, time, and energy you offer. When you allow everyone access to you without limits, you invite unnecessary pain, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion into your life. You open the door to people who take without giving, who drain you without replenishing, who benefit from your presence without ever truly valuing you. It is important to understand that not everyone has good intentions. Some people are only interested in what they can gain from you. They come into your life because they see you as useful, not because they genuinely care. They stay as long as they are benefiting and disappear when they no longer need you. These people do not deserve your time, your energy, or your emotional investment. The more you allow such people access to your life, the more you find yourself feeling used, unappreciated, and depleted. Protecting your access is not about being selfish, it is about recognizing your worth. It is about understanding that your presence is valuable and it should not be given away freely to just anyone. You are not a public space that anyone can walk into whenever they please. You are a person with emotions, limits, and the right to decide who gets to be close to you. The people who truly deserve access to you are those who respect you, who uplift you, who bring positivity and balance into your life. They do not just take, they give. They do not just use, they appreciate. They do not just exist in your life, they contribute to it in a meaningful way. One of the biggest mistakes people make is feeling guilty for setting boundaries. They worry that saying no will make them seem rude, unkind, or ungrateful. But the truth is, saying no is necessary. Not everyone should have access to your thoughts, your emotions, your struggles, or your victories. Not everyone should be allowed to influence your decisions, your mindset, or your peace of mind. The more selective you become with who you allow into your space, the more peace you will find. It is easy to confuse openness with kindness, but they are not the same. You can be a kind person and still protect your space. You can be compassionate without letting people take advantage of you. You can be supportive without allowing toxic individuals to drain you. The key is balance. Give, but give wisely. Help, but help those who appreciate it. Be there for others, but not at the cost of your own well-being. The people who truly deserve access to you will never make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. They will understand your need for space, for boundaries, for self-care. They will not push, demand, or manipulate their way into your life. Instead, they will respect your limits and cherish the moments they do get to spend with you. These are the people you should surround yourself with. These are the people who deserve you. Your time, your energy, your heart, they are precious. They should not be available to just anyone who wants them. Choose carefully who gets to be close to you. Choose wisely who you invest in. Because not everyone deserves access to you. And the sooner you accept, the sooner you will find the peace and respect you truly deserve. Respecting yourself first is not an option, it is a necessity. Too often, people give away their self-respect in the pursuit of love, approval, and validation from others. They compromise their values to fit into relationships, workplaces, and social circles that do not truly honor them. They say yes when they want to say no. They tolerate disrespect because they fear losing connections, and they put others on a pedestal while diminishing their own worth. But the reality is, when you do not respect yourself first, you invite others to disrespect you. People treat you based on the standards you set for yourself. If you constantly sacrifice your self-worth for the sake of keeping others happy, you teach them that your feelings and boundaries do not matter. Self-respect means recognizing your own worth, regardless of how others perceive you. It is about standing firm in your values, even when it is uncomfortable. It is about understanding that you do not have to prove yourself to anyone or seek external validation to feel whole. When you respect yourself, you stop chasing after people who do not see your value. You stop begging for attention, affection, or approval. You realize that your worth is not defined by how much you do for others, how many people like you, or how well you fit into someone else's expectations. Many people fear that if they prioritize their self-respect, they will lose relationships. They worry that standing up for themselves will push people away. But the truth is, anyone who leaves because you refuse to be disrespected was never truly meant to stay. Healthy relationships, whether friendships, romantic relationships, or professional partnerships, are built on mutual respect. If someone cannot respect your boundaries, your opinions, or your dignity, they do not deserve a place in your life. Losing people who take advantage of you is not a loss, it is a gain. It creates space for people who will treat you with the respect you deserve. Respecting yourself also means refusing to settle for less than what you truly want. It means walking away from situations that make you feel unworthy, undervalued, or invisible. It is understanding that you are not meant to live a life full of compromise and self-sacrifice just to keep the peace. Peace should exist within you first. And that peace comes from knowing that you honor yourself in every decision you make. The moment you decide to respect yourself, you will notice a shift. You will no longer tolerate toxic relationships. You will stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You will walk away from environments that drain you rather than uplift you. People will notice when you start respecting yourself. Some will admire it, others will resent it. Those who benefited from your lack of boundaries may try to guilt you into going back to your old ways. They may call you selfish, distant, or unkind, but remember, their reaction is not a reflection of your character, it is a reflection of their inability to manipulate you anymore. True self-respect does not require the approval of others. It requires strength, courage, and the willingness to prioritize yourself, even when it is difficult. Respecting yourself first is not about arrogance or superiority. It is about understanding that you are just as important as anyone else. It is about realizing that your feelings, needs, and desires matter. It is about choosing yourself in a world that constantly demands you to put others first. And the most beautiful part is that when you respect yourself, the world starts respecting you too. You attract people who see your worth, opportunities that align with your values, and a life that reflects the love and respect you have for yourself. Setting boundaries without guilt is one of the most important acts of self-respect and self-care. Many people struggle with boundaries because they fear being judged, rejected, or seen as selfish. They believe that always being available, always saying yes, and always accommodating others is what makes them a good person. But the truth is, constantly putting others before yourself leads to exhaustion, resentment, and a loss of identity. Boundaries are not walls that keep people out, they are guidelines that define how you deserve to be treated. They are necessary for maintaining healthy relationships, protecting your mental and emotional well-being, and ensuring that you do not lose yourself in the process of pleasing others. One of the biggest reasons people feel guilty about setting boundaries is the fear of disappointing others. They worry that saying no will hurt someone's feelings, create conflict, or make them seem unkind. But the reality is, people who truly respect you will understand and honor your boundaries. The ones who make you feel guilty for setting limits are often the ones who benefited from your lack of them. They want you to stay available, to keep saying yes, to continue sacrificing your needs for their comfort. But you are not responsible for making everyone happy at the cost of your own well-being. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and the more you neglect yourself, the more drained and unfulfilled you will feel. Another reason guilt creeps in when setting boundaries is the societal pressure to always be agreeable, generous, and selfless. Many people are taught from a young age that saying no is rude, that prioritizing yourself is selfish, and that putting others first is the right thing to do. While kindness and generosity are beautiful qualities, they should not come at the expense of your peace. There is a difference between being a good person and being a people pleaser. A good person helps others when they can, but they also know when to step back and take care of themselves. A people pleaser, on the other hand, ignores their own needs, overextends themselves, and feels guilty for even thinking about saying no. You do not have to be everything for everyone. You do not have to stretch yourself thin just to be accepted. The people who truly matter will respect your limits, not punish you for them. Setting boundaries is an act of love, not just for yourself, but for others as well. When you communicate your limits clearly, you teach people how to treat you. It is not your job to manage how others react to your boundaries. Some may not like it, some may push back, but their discomfort does not mean you are wrong. Growth often comes with discomfort, and if someone truly cares about you, they will adjust. The more you practice setting boundaries, the easier it becomes. Start with small steps, say no to things that drain you, step away from toxic conversations, communicate your needs openly without over-explaining. With time, you will realize that boundaries do not push away the right people, they filter out the wrong ones. The people who respect you will stay. The ones who only wanted to take advantage of you will leave. And that is a good thing. You do not owe anyone unlimited access to your time, energy, or emotions. You deserve relationships that uplift you, environments that support you, and a life that honors your well-being. The guilt you feel when setting boundaries is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a sign that you are breaking old patterns of self-neglect. And in the end, choosing yourself is never the wrong choice. Your time is precious, yet so many people give it away carelessly. Time is the one thing you can never get back, no matter how much you wish for it. Every second that passes is a moment gone forever. which is why it is so important to use it wisely. Many people do not realize the value of their time until they have wasted it on things that do not matter, on meaningless conversations, on relationships that drain them, on obligations that do not serve them, and on people who do not appreciate them. It is easy to fall into the habit of saying yes to everything, of filling your schedule with tasks and commitments that do not bring you joy or fulfillment. But when you truly understand how limited your time is, you become more intentional about how you spend it and who you spend it with. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that they have all the time in the world. They assume there will always be a tomorrow, always be another chance, always be more time to do the things they want. But the truth is, life is unpredictable. Time moves forward whether you are ready or not. Wasting time on things that do not matter robs you of the opportunity to invest in things that do. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to something that could have added value to your life. Every time you allow someone to take advantage of your time, you are giving away a part of your life that you will never get back. Learning to protect your time is not selfish, it is necessary. There will always be people who demand your time, who expect you to be available whenever they need you, who think just because they want your attention, they deserve it. But not everyone is entitled to your time. You have the right to decide where your energy goes. You do not have to attend every event, answer every call, respond to every message, or be present for everyone at all times. It is okay to say no. It is okay to prioritize yourself. It is okay to choose how you spend your time based on what truly matters to you. The people who respect you will understand, and the ones who do not were never meant to have access to your time in the first place. There is a difference between being busy and being productive. Many people fill their days with tasks just to feel like they are doing something, but in reality, they are just moving in circles. Being busy does not always mean you are making progress. Productivity is about doing things that align with your goals, dreams, and well-being. It is about making time for what truly matters: your passions, your health, your personal growth, and the people who genuinely add value to your life. If you are constantly exhausted, constantly running from one thing to another without any sense of fulfillment, it may be time to reevaluate how you are using your time. When you start treating your time as valuable, everything changes. You stop entertaining meaningless conversations. You stop spending time with people who drain your energy. You stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself. You begin to focus on what truly matters, on what brings you happiness, on what helps you grow. Your time is the most valuable resource you have, and once you start protecting it, you will realize how much of it was being wasted on things that did not deserve it. You do not owe your time to anyone. You owe it to yourself to use it wisely. Stop seeking validation from others, because the more you depend on external approval, the more you give away control over your own happiness. Many people spend their lives chasing validation, waiting for someone to tell them they are good enough, smart enough, talented enough, or worthy enough. They seek approval in their careers, relationships, social circles, and even on social media, measuring their worth by the opinions of others. But the truth is, no amount of external validation can ever replace self-acceptance. If you do not believe in yourself, no compliment, no recognition, and no applause will ever feel like enough. Seeking validation is a habit that often comes from a place of insecurity and self-doubt. It stems from the fear of being rejected, of not fitting in, of not being liked. Society teaches people from an early age to seek approval, whether from parents, teachers, peers, or even strangers. The desire to be accepted is natural, but when it turns into a constant need for validation, it becomes unhealthy. You start shaping your decisions around what others will think rather than what you truly want. You begin suppressing your opinions, changing your personality, and living according to expectations that do not align with who you really are. One of the biggest dangers of seeking validation is that it makes you dependent on the unpredictable. People's opinions change, trends shift, and no matter how much you try to please everyone, there will always be someone who disagrees, criticizes, or fails to recognize your worth. When your self-worth is tied to external approval, you will always be at the mercy of others' judgments. You will constantly feel the pressure to prove yourself, to be perfect, to live up to unrealistic standards. And the worst part, you will never feel truly satisfied, because validation from others is temporary. It fades, it fluctuates, and it is never guaranteed. True confidence comes from within. It comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you bring to the table without needing anyone else to confirm it. When you stop seeking validation, you free yourself from the anxiety of constantly trying to please others. You start making decisions that align with your values rather than ones that are designed to impress. You begin to speak your mind without fearing judgment. You stop apologizing for being yourself. The moment you realize that you do not need anyone's approval to be worthy, you step into a new kind of freedom. Many people hesitate to let go of validation because they fear being alone or misunderstood. But the reality is, not everyone will like you, and that is okay. Not everyone will understand you, and that is okay too. You are not meant to fit into every space, to be accepted by every person, or to be loved by everyone. The right people, the ones who truly respect and appreciate you, will accept you for who you are, not for who you pretend to be. Breaking free from validation seeking is a process. It requires unlearning years of conditioning, facing your fears, and building your self-worth from the inside out. It means being okay with not always being liked, with standing alone if necessary, with trusting your own voice over the noise of others. The more you practice self-acceptance, the less you will need approval from the outside world. You will realize that your worth is not something to be given or taken away by others. It is something that has always belonged to you. Fake friends drain you in ways you may not even realize at first. They take your time, energy, and emotions without giving anything meaningful in return. They pretend to care when it is convenient for them, but the moment they no longer need you, they disappear. These are the people who show up only when they need something, who shower you with kindness when it benefits them, and who abandon you when things get tough. They do not value your presence, they only value what they can gain from it. One of the most dangerous things about fake friends is that they often disguise themselves well. They may act like they support you, but their actions reveal otherwise. They might pretend to celebrate your success, but deep down they feel envious. They might listen to your problems, but instead of offering genuine advice, they use your vulnerabilities against you. They smile in your face, but talk behind your back. They pretend to be happy for you, but secretly hope you fail. These people are not friends, they are energy leeches, draining you without remorse. Having fake friends in your life can be more exhausting than having enemies. At least with enemies, you know where you stand, but fake friends keep you in a state of uncertainty. One day they act like your biggest supporter, the next day they treat you like a stranger. Their inconsistency keeps you second-guessing yourself. You invest in the friendship, thinking it is real, only to realize that they were never truly there for you in the first place. This cycle of hope and disappointment can be emotionally draining, leaving you feeling used, unappreciated, and alone. Fake friends often take advantage of your kindness. They expect you to always be available, to always listen, to always help, but when you need the same in return, they are nowhere to be found. They make excuses when it is time to support you, yet they expect you to show up for them without question. A real friend stands by your side in both good and bad times, but a fake friend only sticks around when it is convenient. If someone only remembers you when they need something, they are not a friend, they are a user. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning to let go of fake friends. It is painful to realize that someone you trusted and cared for never truly valued you. But keeping fake friends around only drains you further. They fill your life with negativity, drama, and unnecessary stress. They make you doubt yourself, question your worth, and feel unappreciated. Holding on to them does not make you loyal, it makes you a prisoner of one-sided relationships. You deserve better than that. Letting go of fake friends does not mean you hold resentment or anger. It means you respect yourself enough to walk away from people who do not treat you with genuine care. It means choosing quality over quantity, peace over drama, and real connections over shallow ones. True friendships are based on trust, support, and mutual respect. If someone cannot offer that, they do not deserve a place in your life. Real friends uplift you. They celebrate your wins, stand by you during tough times, and bring positive energy into your life. They do not compete with you, use you, or drain you. They remind you of your worth, not make you question it. When you remove fake friends, you make room for the right people, the ones who truly care, who bring joy instead of exhaustion, who add value instead of taking it away. Letting go of fake friends is not a loss, it is a gain, because you are choosing yourself, your peace, and your happiness. Walk away when needed, because staying in the wrong place for too long only drains you. Life is too short to hold on to people, situations, and environments that no longer serve your growth, peace, or happiness. Yet many people hesitate to leave because of fear of change, fear of loneliness, fear of what others will think. They convince themselves to stay in toxic relationships, unhealthy friendships, unfulfilling jobs, and draining situations simply because walking away feels too difficult. But the truth is, nothing is more difficult than staying where you do not belong. People often stay because they hope things will change. They give endless chances, waiting for someone to treat them better, waiting for a situation to improve, waiting for a sign that justifies their departure. But deep down, they already know the answer. They know when they are being disrespected, undervalued, or taken for granted. They know when a relationship is one-sided, when a friendship is filled with jealousy, or when a job is slowly destroying their mental health. Yet they hold on, hoping that their patience will be rewarded. But sometimes the best reward you can give yourself is freedom. Walking away does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are giving up. It means you respect yourself enough to choose peace over chaos, self-worth over desperation, and growth over comfort. It means you refuse to stay where you are not valued, where your efforts go unnoticed, where your kindness is taken for granted. Some people will try to make you feel guilty for walking away. They will say you have changed, that you are selfish, that you are making a mistake. But staying just to please others is not a sign of strength. It is a sign of self-neglect. You are not responsible for carrying relationships or situations that no longer align with your well-being. There comes a time in life when you have to accept that some things are not meant to be fixed. Some people will never change. Some situations will never improve. Some places will never feel like home. And when you recognize this, you have a choice: stay and suffer or walk away and heal. The longer you stay in places that drain you, the more you lose yourself. You start doubting your worth, questioning your decisions, and accepting less than you deserve. But the moment you decide to walk away, you take back control of your life. You stop waiting for things to change and start creating change for yourself. Walking away is not always easy. It means stepping into the unknown, leaving behind memories, and sometimes starting over from scratch. But what is harder is staying in a situation that is slowly breaking you. The pain of walking away is temporary, but the pain of staying in the wrong place lasts forever. When you leave what no longer serves you, you make space for better things, healthier relationships, greater opportunities, and a life that aligns with your true self. Not everything in life is meant to be held onto. Some connections are temporary, some paths come to an end, and some chapters must be closed so new ones can begin. When something no longer feels right, when it no longer brings you peace, when it drains more than it gives, have the courage to walk away. Because at the end of the day, your happiness, your mental well-being, and your peace matter more than any situation, relationship, or expectation. You owe it to yourself to choose a life that uplifts you, not one that weighs you down.